Alrighty. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be about this Corsa, which, as you might have seen in yesterday's video, I got for free. But just imagine you buy something similar like this Corsa as a project car. You want to get to know how to work on cars. You want to restore this one to some form of beauty or absolute beauty. Or this is, for instance, your grandma's car who has left it in a yard for 6 years. I am going to do a quotation on this Corsa to see how much it would cost to make it passable for the MOT, look good, and look factory fresh. So let's start. First, some explanation. Passable for the MOT is just going to be regular service and the things that have to be done for the MOT. The looking good is going to be scrapyard prices, project car prices, for everything on here. And looking factory fresh is going to be GM prices for the whole car. So I think we're gonna start on mechanics or mechanical stuff. Let's go. So now you might think, what can go wrong with a 1.7 diesel? Well, some things, as I have found out. In yesterday's videos I said that the you might not be able to see it now, that stuff is, that stuff is from a broken head gasket. I was mistaken. That is probably from a broken injector seal, so we're gonna put that on the list. What else is there to say? This needs a full service, in my beliefs. But not. Let's take a look at the. Oh, that's still quite all right. All right. I'm not gonna take this full engine apart, of course. We're probably gonna need new timing belt. I mean, if we look at the rest of the engine and the maintenance that has been done, it's probably gonna need a timing belt. We're gonna do I think this is, what does it say? Ergo pump. This thing doesn't have air conditioning. I refuse to believe that. Is that, oh my god, does this thing have air conditioning? Or it might be a button on here. I'll check that out, and I'll put it, I'll say it what it actually is in the end of the video when I do the actual quotation. So let's continue on. I'm sorry for not knowing what this is, but it does look oddly like an air conditioning pump. But that would be odd. What else is there to say? The radiator. Wait, I'll go down here. The floor is wet. God. The radiator is bent and buckled and broken, so we're gonna need a new one of that. Yay. Probably this is probably nasty as well. It's so nasty that I won't open this. You know, if I can get this to open. Oh wait, here, timing belt changed probably. 171,000 kilometers. So that is a good 50k ago. So that's probably still good. So I won't put that on the quotation price for like getting it through an MOT. But god damn it, this thing is stuck. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. I'm gonna try to open it with two hands. Alright, I cannot get that oil filler cap to open for the life of me. So I am going to assume that the head gasket is also busted, just because that thing is welded shut, probably by gunk and by mook and by anything you can imagine for dirtiness. So I'm gonna put a head gasket on the price. It's also very hard to see because of this packed little engine block, although oh no, that's no. So I'll put that in the quotation, but just because, well, you know, if you're gonna restore this thing, you're gonna have to do an engine restoration. God, I forgot I'll have to write that down in a minute. Help me to not forget to put one or all of the injector seals on the list, because one of them is probably busted. Good. Now we go on to the interior. Yeah. So, what do we have here? A lot of dirt, of course. Needs a new steering wheel, because basically that is not allowed and it's not pretty. So I'm gonna put a new steering wheel in the price. Wait, first injector seal. See, seals. Good. And then steering wheel. Plus airbag. Why steering wheel plus airbag? Because, well, this is basically the wheel, as you might know, and since there's a cover over it, I'm not gonna assume it's pretty under there. And this is the airbag, which, well, has the worn horn button. As you can see, there's a partition here. This is the airbag, this is the steering wheel. So I'm gonna assume that, well, I can see that this is broken, so, or well, broken, it's worn out. So I'm gonna put that on the price. Then this little button is missing. Scrapyard, you can just put that in your pocket and they won't notice. Ooh, I said too much. Okay, but a radio, I'm gonna put that on the price. There are still actually GM original Delco Electronics radios available, new in the box somewhere. You'll just have to search for them. Radio. And for the restoration, the hobby car restoration, I am just going to put any generic, like Kenwood or Pioneer DAB Plus radio for it. Probably might be more expensive than a new Delco Electronics, but hey. What else? We're gonna turn on the engine, or well, the contact. We can see here that half of the lights of the display are gone, and it shows 65 degrees. Now, I was just outside and I was quite cold, so 65 degrees Celsius, I'm afraid it's not. These lights are worn out, so I'm going to put in I'll pause the video for a second just so you don't have to hear me rambling about some stuff. Good. Sorry if it's a bit cloudy, I just smoked a cigarette. What else is there to say here? I forgot the name again, the fuel meter is broken, but of course I don't know if that is this unit in here, the cable, or well, the sensor, but I will just write down all three because I have no way of currently doing a thorough inspection of that. So, fuel meter plus all. Good. For the rest, the temperature sensor works. The speed thing works. That airbag light stays on, so I'm gonna assume that this airbag is also broken. But of course I already wrote that down. Then what else can we tell from this interior? Well, all the windows work, so that's fine. Assuming you want to fully restore it, you'll want all the booklets with it. This just has the paperwork, nothing else. So I'm gonna do that for the full restoration. Looks good. Now, this normally isn't normal, but well, on an old Opel it is quite alright. So I'm not gonna put that for an inspection point of view. I'm gonna put that down for a full restoration. So the bushings, gear bushing, and the gear knob gator, gate door, and the handbrake gator and brake gator. Now, what else is here in the interior? The clutch pedal is feeling very worn out. The clutch is worn, of course, as you do clutch. Then the hood release is I'm sorry, the hood release is also quite busted. You have to pull it really far through. I almost broke it off. Hood release, that's probably a cable or tensioning a cable, so I'm gonna put down cable. The floor mats, as you can see, quite busted. Floor upholstery. So the floor upholstery, the roof liner, I'm gonna put down for the full restoration because, well, this doesn't stay in. This doesn't want to stay in. This is completely worn out. So I'll put that down for a full restoration. Roof liner. Good. I think that's everything in the interior tackled. Of course, these things are worn out, but you can glue them on, or you can glue them back on. Like Mark III Asterisk, Mark III Cavaliers, they have roof liner sag around the back always, and you can still glue that on. I know, because I've once done it. And it's not like just smearing glue all over the fabric. It's shooting glue in somewhere, or the steaming glue in some. My Mark III Astra, that's way too long ago to remember that. glue fabric. So, well, for full restoration, I'll put door cards. So, I think we have had everything in the interior. Put that down 4 times. So let's go to the back of it. I came prepared, so I don't have to put that obnoxious subscribe sign down. This is missing. Of course, this is not necessary, but it does make it look prettier. So, here's my doggy again. Ooh, you got surprised by something. Probably that by the state. This, I still don't know the name of it. That has to be replaced for a full restoration. But it's actually upholstered now. Not well. It's quite bent. But hey, did a good job. Whoever did that. But for a full restoration, of course, you're gonna want to replace that. These things I'm not gonna put down because you can just steal them at a scrapyard. And don't tell me you've never stolen anything at a scrapyard if you've been there. Don't know if there's speakers under here. I would guess not. Then the floor mat is bent and buckled and moldy. So I'm gonna put that down. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause this because otherwise the video will be too long. And I think that is the interior done. So, yep. So now, the bodywork, which is not grandesque. I'm gonna put down the essentials, of course, for the MOT, because it does have rust holes, which are quite big and not okay. But for the full restoration and for it making it look pretty, I am going to put yes, everything I see down. So since I can see this, I'm gonna put away my writing paper, my clipboard. So we start with this grill busted and missing, god damn it, missing the Opel logo. I'll repair that later. The headlights are, well, this one isn't. This one's fine. So the left headlight is okay, but this one, as you might be able to see, has rust in it, and the MOT will not appreciate that. So that. The front bumper is completely busted. This is bent, that is bent. So full restoration front bumper. These wings, of course, not needed for an MOT, or well, not needed to be pretty for an MOT, but full restoration, so that's gonna go down. Door. This might be the only savable door. Of course, it does need paint work then. But I am going to put it down anyways because of these indentations, which I don't know what they're for. But I will put that down for, of course, a full restoration. If you do only a half restoration, making it look pretty, you will not need a new driver's door. This one is dented quite badly. She might be able to wait. She might be able to see. So, new rear door. I'm not gonna put down door handles because they still look pretty and they aren't actually worn. is on Mark III Astras and Mark III Cavaliers. You can, these pull through really high and don't feel like they have a lot of tension, but these ones do. So I'm not going to put down door handles. This has a bit of bucculation. That's going to go down. And the restoration quote. Of course, all these trims will be replaced, or will be replaced. They will be put down. This tail light, stay out of here. This tail light is yeah, busted, as you can see. So that will be put down for everything. Boot lid, dent. This is not quite savable anymore. This is just a lot of small dents and it's starting to rot. So full restoration, put that down. The rear bumper needs a new one, it's cracked. Side trims, of course. This door is done for. This is really hard. These are too many and really hard dents to pull out. So I'll put these doors down. This one's also pretty gnarly. And then this front wing has a dent, But for the rest it's quite okay so far. Like, making it look pretty, I'll not put that down. I would learn to live with those dents. Would be hard, but okay. Rims, of course. If you want to put a full restoration. Actually, for making it look pretty, I'll put down rims as well, but with a friendly price, with a used price, and some new tires on them. So the hood, no, not the heads-up display, the hood. Yep. Rusty, as they all do on Corsas B. So, and this one is quite buckled, so that probably needs a bit of a restoration. Now, of course, I'm gonna put everything down for scrapyard prices and for new GM part prices. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. I'm gonna do some quotation work. I'm gonna look up some prices and I'll see you back in a second. I nearly forgot the most fun thing, the rust check. Now I have done the rust check already, so you won't sadly be hearing any crunching sounds. I'm very sorry, but I couldn't quite properly film it. So, a hole. Wait, I'm gonna put you in there. A hole right here that had actually kitchen towel in it. It's the same hole as in here. This is probably the continuation of that hole. Now that I see it. No, that's still strong. So something here as well. That's not a hole. Is that good? That's good. This is a hole behind here. This behind the rocker panel, basically. They also tend to rot. So if you're buying a Corsa B, watch out for that. Front isn't rotten, I checked. There is one other thing that I have to check on these. The front chassis rails, they tend to go on Corsas B. Then here is a hole might... Well, I'm sorry. Here's a hole. Quite a big one. You might have seen that in the other video. Again, behind here. This one actually isn't too bad, but they do rot there, so watch out. Now, yeah, big beast. Where's my key? Where's my key? I think I put it back in. Yes. I'm gonna need the key for this one. That's something I forgot to add. Boot lock. 'Cause I believe there's something wrong with it. Might not be, but... Then we're just gonna be cruel and do this. This is wet, but not rotten. So that's positive. Now the other side. This one is still attached, actually. Same story here. Wet but not rotten. So yeah, I'll show you. This is moldy. This is nasty. I'm just gonna leave that in here. That's for my school to dispose of. Yeah. For the rest. Now I am going to make the quotation. So I'll explain it again. Currently, there's going to be an MOT, or well, an inspection quote, just to get this through inspection. Doesn't have to look pretty for an inspection. Then there's going to be a making it look pretty quote. So we're going to use auto dock parts and scrapyard parts, as much as I can find them. And there's going to be a full restoration quote. So everything from GM, everything from high quality products. And yeah, that's going to be what you're going to see in a second. So the quote is ready. It's quite a list. For instance, what do we have here? A steering wheel plus airbag. I found one, new from GM. It's ridiculous, the price. But anyway, this is the back of the paper. This quotation is 1.5 pages long. I did the same for my Vectra. Well, it doesn't need any body work, so to speak of, but things that need doing. And it was only like 5 things that were broken. And that was an actual test. That was a full test on a testing machine, like for the suspension and for the brakes and for that was the full list. 5 things. But this is dire. So the price, the grand total for making it roadworthy again would be $339, which isn't actually too much, but then it still wouldn't look pretty in any way. That's like for the inspection, that is like, oh, I lost my paper. A big service, a diesel filter, a radiator, which is broken, as you might have seen. I don't know if I showed it properly. A head gasket. And it's all done at home, so to speak for. It is missing something now that I think of it. It should have another $20, so 356 buckaroos for the whole thing, because the airbag module is broken and it shows an airbag fault, and the inspection will fail on that. But yes, so 359 bucks. That includes a front headlight and a rear taillight and some welding work. But that welding work is, of course, if you let it to by a friend that knows welding, or you know welding, or God knows. Then, to make it pretty again, so that is auto dock parts, scrapyard parts, the most I could find of it. That is 2,782 bucks. That's quite a lot, but not a ridiculous amount for the things that this thing need. I mean, the bodywork is total annihilation. It has dents, it has scratches. Some are too deep to repair. But then, the most ridiculous price quoting for any Corsa B ever, the full GM restoration price. Of course, as I said in the beginning of the video, I was only going to look after genuine GM parts, genuine GM service prices, and genuine body shop. I mean, I've found a body shop connected to an Opel dealer, so I took their quote for a full respray, and that is the ridiculous price of 17,086 euros. Now, looking at Corsas B for sale, I found a really, really sweet one for 2,000 bucks. So that basically writes off making it look pretty and restoring it. And basically, the making it ready for an MOT is also just an economic write-off, because then you can find, for 350 bucks, you can find way better Corsas B than this. I have found one with 91,000 kilometers, a 3-door, a 1.2 12 valve, from the first owner, only with a slight knock in the tailgate, in the boot lid, whatever that you want to call it, for 399 bucks. I would take that over this any day. It just needed an oxygen sensor for the exhaust, and that was it. Then it was ready for another lease of life. But of course, this one was donated, so I can't complain. But that was the list. My first quotation of this channel. There's gonna be another one fairly soon for my Corsa B, Corsa A. Corsa B, I just did the Corsa B. For my Corsa A saloon, to make that look pretty and factory fresh again. We're not going to use GM parts, we've now decided. It's also really hard to find GM parts for that thing, but yeah. So that was the video. I hope you liked it. If you were able to sit through all of my tedious rambling about dents and scratches and leaks and mechanical problems. But anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And I hope to see you in the next video, which is probably going to be repairing this thing. So, goodbye.